Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. I don't know how long I'm going to be sitting here for, as I am recording this during a tornado warning, but I'm going to try to record this as long as I possibly can. I'm watching my weather radar right now, and I'm unsure of where this tornado could be at. Some places are telling me I'm under a thunderstorm warning. Others are telling me that I'm under a tornado warning. So we will see what happens. But I'm obviously a little stressed out. I have a weather radar going on my screen. I have not heard the siren yet. But trust me, I fucking will when it comes in. So I will be removing my noise gate so that so that you guys can hear it if it does go off. Because I'll just leave the recording going. However, the power might just go out in the middle of this. Okay. Yeah, so I'm a little unsure of what to do right now. I did have stuff I wanted to discuss, but this kind of changes the whole context. Let's start with something fun. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that when I'm trying to make sure I don't perish, but is that really the live feed? What? Why did it just do that? Critical. Oh shit. Probably not the best idea that I'm in here. But I haven't heard the siren go off. I'm just getting it on my phone. Okay, I am very unsure of what to do. I'm gonna go. Okay. I'm hearing reports that the tornado is not in this region. Wow. I cannot believe this right now. So apparently it's in a different part of the town, is what I'm being told. I can't believe this, dude. I was literally just gonna do the podcast like normal. Whoa. No way. I can see it on my radar. I'm updating people. Sorry this is such a chaotic episode. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just go home, record the episode. No big deal. Nope. There's apparently a tornado headed straight for the city over, and I almost got caught in it. If I had stayed a little longer, then I would have been caught up in it. If I had stayed at work a little longer. Damn. Okay, let's continue like normal until something happens. So I wanted to show this commercial for a pharmaceutical company. Is that squeaking noise I keep hearing? Fuck off. I keep hearing or not keep hearing. I saw this commercial for a pharmaceutical ad and I could not believe my eyes when I saw it. Let me pull this up. I literally could not believe my eyes. Am I on the speakers? I am. Okay. Let me turn this on. It's for something called Ponvory. The commercial is called Blackout for Vanda Pharmaceuticals. This is one of the most freakish things I've seen because it's so weird. But I don't think it's AI. I think it's a legit commercial. I could be totally wrong about that, by the way. It's an anime commercial.
Ponvory is approved for the treatment of relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis in adults. Ponvory
What
lowers
does this
the
have
number
to
of white
do?
blood cells, lymphocytes, in your blood. Usually,
What does
this
that
will
have to
return
do
normal within 1 to 2 weeks of stopping treatment? Ponvory can increase your risk of
with
serious infections that can be life-threatening.
multiple
and may cause
sclerosis?
death. Ponvory can cause your heart rate to slow down, especially after you take your first dose. Do not take Ponvory if in the last 6 months you had a heart attack, unstable angina,
what is this
stroke, or
even
other
about?
severe heart conditions, including certain types of abnormal heart rhythm. The most common side effects of Ponvory include upper respiratory tract infections, elevated liver enzymes, and high blood pressure. Starting treatment with Ponvory will begin with the starter pack. Ask your doctor about Ponvory or visit ponvory.com to learn more. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
What did any of that have to do with multiple sclerosis? Dude, I saw this on the TV, and I was like, why is there an anime ad on the TV? I mean, it's cool. That was the other problem, is that I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool that they did this. But it's for a pharmaceutical company. Oh, and it was on Fox News. That was the other weird part, is it was on Fox News. Sorry, it's still super chaotic here. But I just wanted to show that anime commercial. I've had it saved in the dock for a while now. I just could not believe my eyes when I saw that commercial. Oh my god, I hate how chaotic it is. It's like everybody being like, there's a tornado, there's a tornado. I know, guys. Ugh. Okay, it looks like it's been lowered. Radar indicated. It looks like the threat of it has been altered, maybe? Oh no, never mind. They've just moved it. Well, what is this one? Oh, just a thunderstorm warning. Sheesh, man. I was about to like grab the dogs, grab his leash, all of that shit. That's crazy. I wish I could show you guys the radar because it looks sick as fuck. But yeah. Oh, there's a storm chaser. Oh shit. There's a storm chaser in where? Searcy, Arkansas. That's cool. Oof. I'm in like the tail end of it now. Like there's about to be like a small break. And then it's going to pick up and then it's going to end. A small break. It's like a light rain. I'm also in the garage, so you can hear it a lot more out here. Moving on, I wanted to talk about books that I bought. I got some pretty interesting books. I've talked about these books before. It's these. Okay. It's the Book of Enoch, the Prophet, which also happens to contain not only does it contain the Book of Enoch, it contains the parables, the book of the Course of Heavenly Luminaries, the dream visions, the concluding section of the book, which I think is just the author riffing, fragment of the Book of Noah. Ooh, bonus. And then I also got the books of Enoch, because it has the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jasher, and the Book of Jubilees. How cool is that? Now, I've been reading through the Book of Enoch a little bit, and it's pretty interesting. I like it. It's, it's definitely got that old language barrier to it. Because some of the stuff that's translated into this is a little whack. Let's see if I can find the beginning of Jasher. Oh, no way. They include a fragment of the Book of Noah at the end of the Book of Enoch. Okay. Cool. The Book of Jasher. Wow, this is a long-ass book. Yeah, listen to the beginning of this. This is the book of the generations of man whom God created upon the earth on the day when the Lord God made heaven and earth. Oh, neat. Translation of preface to Hebrew edition. Neat. Yeah, I think this is really cool. I love the biblical apocryphy. This is one of the most popular books of that time. Like, at that time, this book was super popular, and yet it was still excluded from the Bible. My assumption is that the Council of Nicaea thought that this book portrayed Enoch on the same level as Jesus, in that, Enoch walks with God and then he is no more. I think they thought that these, because that's in Genesis, I think they thought that these books made Enoch seem too much like a Jesus-like figure, thus lessening Jesus's significance in the stories. That's my theories. Obviously, there's other scholarly level theories as to why these were excluded from the Bible, but these are like the prequel to the Book of Noah. I also got these Georgia-related books. Ghost Stories of Georgia. Look how goofy this cover is. It has a lot of cool stories in it. It's got stuff about St. Simon's Island, Roswell, Berry College, Marietta, Savannah, Columbus, Macon, Milledgeville. Dude, the whole front is flooding. That's crazy. Sorry, I had to go open the door for someone, but and I'm leaving this whole thing in. But yeah, the book's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Is indeed a ghost book. More historical haunts. So yeah, and I got this one. This one's more let's see. This one's about like a specific county, which is pretty cool. This goes along with my mysterious Georgia book. But yeah, I think I'm done trying to pretend to do this podcast during the storm. I think I'm going to pick up on this later. But in case I'm in a different shirt, I want to plug the merch. I'm wearing my own merch for this podcast. And this is where you can find it. It'll be in the description. Go to tpublic.com/user/day91786 and you can get this shirt. Oh, and some magnets. So yeah, I'm going to pick back up on this later when the storm is not going completely insane. So yeah. Time for the Patreon plug. Hope you're enjoying the episode. If you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can subscribe for $10 a month to get bonus content. Or you can subscribe for $1 or $3 a month if you just want to support us. There's also higher tiers if you want to support us even more, even harder. But you don't have to. So head on over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. And for $10 a month, you can get the bonus episodes and even bonus content like the outtakes for this little segment. So thanks for supporting us and thanks for listening. All right, welcome back. I have decided to continue. There is no longer a threat, I don't think, so we should be fine. Whatever they thought was a tornado has already left the area, and it's now just a thunderstorm warning, so we're in the clear. Nonetheless, could lose power during this, so just remember that. If it randomly cuts, or if it corrupts the file, that would be why. Whoa. Talk about some music I've been listening to lately, now that I can actually relax. So yeah, I've been listening to the new Psychedelic Porn Crumpets album. It's called Carpe Diem Moon Man. I liked it. I gotta say, did not expect to like a new PPC album like that. It reminded me of when I was younger, because I'm so old. It reminded me of when I was like 18, hanging out with friends in 2020. We used to listen to High Visceral and Part 1 and Part 2 and the B-sides. And also used to listen to, what is it? Where's my Spotify? There it is. We also used to listen to, what's that new album that they had? I call it new. It's 4 years old now. It's right here. That Shiga, The Sunlight Mound album. I actually really liked that album. But there were definitely some songs on there that I wasn't really vibing with. And I kind of stopped listening to them for a while. And I haven't really heard much from their other 3 albums. I just didn't listen to them very much. And then randomly I decided, you know what? I need new music to listen to. I'm going to listen to the new album all the way through. And that's what I did. And I gotta say, lots of good songs on there. March On for Pax Ramona. That's a really good song. I was immediately like hooked in with that one. Oh, that's Ramona. Oh, sorry. Pax Ramona. Quick Math is like one of my favorites on the whole album. It's such a good song. And has such a creative like style to it. It's I think they call it math rock. Is it called math rock? Yeah. It's basically like the I don't even know how to describe it. Let me see. I'll just play a snippet of it. I don't care. This kind of style. It's like that, where it's like the beats switching up over and over and over, and it's super like unorthodox. I love that song. I love As the Hummingbird Hovers. It just has such like an airy, atmospheric feel to it. It really fills the space, and creates like a nice atmosphere for the song. It really fills up every little crack in the song. You can like hear there's a lot of reverb. It gives me a lot of High Visceral vibe. This song is like High Visceral if it was toned down and a bit more serious, and I like that. Scapegoat sounds a lot like a High Visceral track in its truest form. Incubator has a really sick guitar in it, and I just like how that song sounds. Out the Universe Pours. Something about hearing the singer in Psychedelic Porn Crumpets scream. It's not something I thought I needed. But hearing him like belt out the words, I really enjoyed that. And Concrete and Cola is on here too. I liked Concrete and Cola. Winter and Parachutes was really good. That one unironically reminded me of a Coldplay song, which is funny because it's called Winter in Parachutes. I doubt that was intentional, but it sounds like a Coldplay song and it gives me that vibe. And this, contrary to popular belief, or contrary to popular opinion, I do like early Coldplay. I like the first 3 albums. I like the 4th album. The 5th album is fine. Ghost Stories is like one of my favorite albums from them. And that's all I care about. Everything after that I'm a little lost on. Once they did the monkey dancing music video, I'm out. So this got me into other PPC songs that I had stopped listening to for a long time. So I've been re-listening to some of their old discography, and the adult abstraction of being, Found God in a Tomato, Ergophobia, November are like my top songs from them. There's a lot of other good ones too, like Coffee, Pie, Denmark. They have a lot of good songs. And I turned this into a YouTube music playlist so I could share this. I created a long time ago. Dependent on Mary's a really good one too. I forgot about that one. I created a playlist a long time ago called Psychedelic Porn Crumpets Radio, or PPC FM or something like that. And so I converted it to a YouTube music playlist. And so here it is. If you want to listen to my own little like order of PPC music and hear what songs I like, here you go. Here's the playlist for it. I don't really use YouTube Music that much. I just thought this would make it the most accessible, because there's also if you just take the music out of the link like I did. I mean, here you go. Here's the playlist. There you go. Playlist in music form. But yeah. Oh shoot, they're covering weather events on this radar. This 24/7 radar. Cool.
Or knots or...
Whoa. Well, that's neat. Anyway, those are the playlists that I put on YouTube. It's called PPC Radio. Or PPC FM, sorry. One thing that those songs remind me of are like when the pandemic started and we were just like, I had just turned, sorry by the way, I'm getting a little sick. I had just turned 18, and we were like going on vacation and traveling around the state and whatnot, because nobody was out. There was never any traffic. We were always masked up. The only time we ever got sick was we caught a cold from someone that worked from someone that was in our group that worked in like a nursing home, and she caught a cold and then gave it to the rest of us. But other than that, we never got COVID or anything like that, which was nice. But we used to listen to these songs all the time. In November, specifically. Found God in a Tomato. Wow. I accidentally found that song. That was my introduction into this band, was I was listening to a song I had found on TikTok. I wonder if I can actually find it. I was listening to a song that I found on TikTok, and in the suggested bar, it suggested Found God in a Tomato, but I saved both. So I might as well give credit to the one that I was listening to when I found that song. Where is it? I'm looking for it right now. Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. Wonder how many times I can say their name before I get this video dinged for talking about porn. Ships Without Meaning by Oneotrix Point Never. I guess that's how you say it. What? Why can't I play it? It's right there. You know what? Screw it. Ships Without Meaning. I'm going to look it up on YouTube. The superior platform. Dude, it started playing Pearl Jam. I'm like, please don't do that. My gosh. I'm gonna get dinged for the rest of my life. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, you can see why I would have found a Psychedelic Porn Crumpet song on here. But yeah, that's where I found the first song that I had seen from them. Speaking of that era, Bleed. Bleed is a grungy kind of rock band-ish who dips their toes into some metal styles every now and then. And they released a new album called Bleed. And I've been waiting for a new Bleed release for a long time. Here's my problem. I gotta check on someone. Sorry. There's still a storm going on for some people, it seems. Here's my problem with that album. I was so excited for this. Killing Time was a single that they released a long time ago that I really liked, and I saw that Killing Time is now on this album. And I listened to it, and it's been remade, and I like it a lot more, actually. It's like a unique style from them. He changes it up vocally. The instrumentals sound good, and I like the slowed down pace. But that's the problem, is that the rest of the album sounds like the... What am I hearing? I just heard, why am I hearing that? That's so weird. I wonder if the mic's picking up on that. That weird, like, tuning fork ringing sound I just heard. That's so odd. Anyway, that's the problem with this album, is that... What the hell? The rest of the album sounds like the original Killing Time. It's the same vocal patterns, the same type of instrumental. I liked Enjoy Your Stay. That's the one with Static Dress on it. I think I've talked about that one already on here. And Through the Cylinder is good. Marathon's fine. Love the Killing Time remake. The problem is that the other songs sound the same. The more you listen to the album, the more samey it sounds. The more the songs start to blend together and you forget which song you're on. I was a little disappointed by this album. I thought some of it was fine, but I think if you listen to all of the songs back to back to back like you're supposed to, you're not going to like it very much after a while. Like, you'll like it at first, and then you'll be like, okay, this is getting old. Let's move on, please. Some other songs that I'm now getting back into because of some recent releases are Screaming by Loathe, New Faces in the Dark by Loathe, and I Let It In and It Took Everything by Loathe. Screaming I've always listened to. I love that song. That song's just so good. The other two songs are songs that I just recently gave a chance to. I'm very weird about music. I'll like hook on to different songs, and I'll like hook on to certain songs and then not want to listen to the rest of them very often. Like I'll listen to all of them once, pick ones that I like, and not return to those songs. And so I was finally like, you know what? I'm going to listen to these other songs. And so that's what I did. And they're really good and I like them. And now they're in my rotation. Lament for the Wasps by Deaf Heaven. Banger. That song's really good. There's another song from them that I've listened to for a while now, called Great Massive Color. When did I like that one? When did I add that one to my playlist? Great Massive Color. Where is it? Which of their various releases did I pull Great Massive Color from? That's so weird. Great Massive Color isn't showing up as I have it, as if I have it in other playlists, but I know it's in other playlists. Isn't it in spring 2024? I think it is. Maybe it's in winter. Yeah, it is. Wait, then why isn't it showing up like it is? That's so weird. Anyway, in January 2024, I listened to a song called Great Massive Color. It was in my top songs for 2024. And another one of their songs came up in my Discover Weekly recently called Lament for the Wasps. This dude just has some crazy vocals. Like, insane vocals. I don't know how they do it. But yeah, it's such a good song. All right, music time is over. It's time to do our homework, people. It's time to move on to homework time. Let's watch some clips of Biden trying to answer questions to the FBI.
In the course of...
And, well, before I get to that, Biden has prostate cancer. This is news that came out, like, right after I recorded the last episode, which is why I didn't talk about it. But he does indeed have prostate cancer. It's apparently pretty advanced. It's apparently pretty advanced. And I'll get to that later.
This is CNN breaking news.
This breaking news, former President Joe Biden has just announced that he has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. Let's get straight to the White House and senior reporter Betsy Klein with more on this. Betsy.
Yeah, Frederica, the White House, the office of former President Joe Biden issuing a statement just moments ago that the former president has been diagnosed on Friday with what they described as an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has spread to his bones. I want to read you this statement again from Biden's personal office. It says,
I gotta say, don't they check the president pretty often when they were in office? How does something? I guess they said an aggressive form. So yes, I know that the former president has prostate cancer. I'm aware. I planned for the Axios stuff long before this came out. And I even have theories that they knew that Biden had this problem before they announced it, like long before they announced it. And that they're announcing it now because of these FBI tapes. But I don't know. I don't think they care that much. That's probably just a wild conspiracy.
Explaining that memo about Afghanistan, you said to Mark,
Anyway, just because he has prostate cancer doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about this.
I just found all the classified stuff downstairs. And so you can imagine, we are curious what you meant when you said, I just found all the classified stuff downstairs.
I don't remember. I'm not supposed to speculate, right? So,
Correct.
Okay, well, I don't remember, and it may have been, I just don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember telling Mark about the handwritten memo that you had written to President Obama?
I probably did. I don't remember it specifically, but my guess is I may have done that.
Okay. Do you remember telling him, I just found all the marked classified stuff downstairs?
Mark?
Telling Mark. Do you remember saying that to him?
No.
Okay. Do you remember actually finding any classified stuff downstairs?
No. The only thing I can remember is I wanted to be clear to him that I didn't want what he just heard me say about the memo to Barack, even though it wasn't a top secret thing of theirs. I didn't want any of that mentioned. It was confidential. Not confidential in the classification sense, but don't write about that. That's off the record. That's not something I want to be talking about in the book club.
At this point in time, around a month or so after you left the vice presidency, were you still in the process of going through your stuff at CBR to see what was packed where and where everything was?
Well, I don't specifically remember, but I can't imagine not. I mean, you just drop all these boxes.
My question is, why does the president or the vice president or anybody, why are they taking classified material home? That's what I'd like to know. Yeah, is this what Kamala Harris was referring to when she said that this is the strong, assertive, confident president that she saw in the war room? Is this what she was talking about? Because this is him in private. This is him in private. So we now know that it didn't matter what setting he was in. He was always like this, no matter what. There was no, he's stronger than an ox and a fierce stallion in the war room. But then when he gets out on stage, he gets a little stage fright. Now he's like a bumbling, stumbling, stuttering mess who has like brain leaking out of his ears. Like, yeah. I'm pretty sure he was like this no matter what.
Boxes and there's a hallway in the back of the garage. A lot of stuff from in the garage itself, boxes piled up. And my problem was, where the hell is all this stuff going? I mean, we're just taking up a lot of room. And but it wasn't so much I was looking for anything. It was like, well, what do I clear out? What do I get out of the way? It's near a hallway, or it's in a garage, or it's in in this library. It was more in that context I can recall thinking about what was in boxes.
Okay.
Not like I'm looking for something, like I'm trying to compile things, but just what they pack up, what's here.
Was this memo?
He's basically trying to say that he didn't actually mean to bring classified documents to his home, and that he just happened to find the documents. He didn't just start looking for them so the eyes were off of them when they were going after Trump for the same thing. Trump's is way more egregious, by the way. Dude, the boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of classified documents sitting in Mar-a-Lago. Why did we go 2 years with no action? Like, the weakest attempt at prosecuting somebody. He got away with that too. Like, oh my God. That was like 30 boxes of classified material.
Mr. President, was this something that you
Oh, this one's funny.
consciously kept after your term as vice president? Is this something that you wanted to hold on to?
I don't recall whether did I have this?
Oh,
this in
legal
my
answer.
position, this memo?
Yes, and to give you some context for this, Mr. President, it was found in the front of this notebook that's on the first page, and the notebook was found in the library at the Lake House in one of the drawers in the cabinet.
I don't recall how it got back. I mean, I don't recall how it got back in the book because I sent it to the president. I gave it to the president. And this looks like the original. I don't think maybe there's a copy made of it, but I don't think so.
It was faxed, just to give you
Oh,
some
okay,
context.
that's why.
Yeah.
All right, now I got it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether I handed it to the president. It was faxed to the president, which I had the copy.
Right.
Okay.
You had the original?
Yeah, I had the original. And I just put it in the book and that was it.
Okay. Were you aware that you had kept it after your term as vice president? Did you know that you had it?
I don't know that I knew, but it wasn't something I would have stopped to think about.
The reason I ask is it's been written about. Bob Woodward wrote about it in one of his books. Jules Woodcover wrote about it in his biography of you. So that's the reason I asked, is if it was something that you wanted to hang on to because it was going to be the subject of reporting or history.
I don't know if it would be subject to reporting, but I wanna
Interesting.
I guess I want.
He's asking him basically, did he keep this because he wanted to use it in like biographies and stuff? Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't really think about that. I've only heard the reason why he would have kept it for posterity's sake. Sorry. Oh, for posterity's sake. I don't know. That's so weird. Like, I seriously don't understand why you would want to keep classified documents. By the way, these documents are going to be like outdated by the time you even did anything with them. You'd be like, look, I have this classified document from like 5 years ago. It'd be like, yeah, well, the war in Afghanistan's over and it's been like 4 years now. I don't know. This is so strange. Like, why he even wanted these documents. This is the one that I was really, harping on.
So during this time, we were living in Chambers Road, and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center, or the Biden, or the cancer booster shot, or your book. Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was, and by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were
Keep in mind
encouraging me to run in this period, except the
that
president.
his son had already
I'm
been
not-
dead by
it's
that
not a
point.
mean thing to say. I mean,
The time frame
we
that he's
just
talking
thought
about.
that she had a better shot of winning the presidency than I did. And so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I might run for office again. if I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Bo die?
Dude, what is he saying? Oh my goodness. He just rambles on. I can't understand what he's trying to say here. Oh my gosh. It's just like he's just rambling on about like a general idea of the time frame in which his son could have died. And I think the dude even tells him,
2015 he died?
yeah.
2015. I think it's 2015.
I'm not sure the months are, but
Damn, it's been 10 years. Not at the point of this interview, but
And what's happened in the meantime is that and Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 2016. All right.
oh my god.
So, why did I have 2017 here?
that's when you left office, January of 2017.
Okay. But that's when Trump gets sworn in.
Right.
January.
Right, correct.
Okay, yeah. And in 2017, Bo had passed, and the genesis of the book and the title "Promise Me, Dad" was I know you're all close with your sons and daughters, but Bo was like my right arm, and that was my left. These guys were years
Hear the clock?
apart, and they could finish each other's sentences. And Bo, I used to.
I'm pretty sure the clock is there like that, so you can tell in the transcript how long it takes him to answer questions.
You know, I went to Mongolia and great pictures. I unfortunately embarrassed the hell out of the leader of Mongolia. They were doing what they would do at the time of the invasion of the Mongols into Europe in the 800s. And so we're out in the middle of nowhere, and you're looking up on the hill and you see this tiny line. Now it's a 20-mile horse race with all these kids under the age of 16 on bareback racing to come down. And, you know, they're sumo wrestlers and doing everything they do. And so they walked over and they had a target, big bales of hay 100 yards away. And these guerrillas were, you know, taking shots. And I think, I don't know if it embarrassed me or to make a point, but they handed the bow and arrow. I'm not a bad archer, but the only problem they were if I could pull it back, so and pure luck, I hit the goddamn target. No, I really did. Bales of hay, they were like 20 bales of hay with a big target in the middle of the bale of hay. And so I didn't mean anything by it. I turned to the prime minister, handed it to him. The poor son of a bitch couldn't pull it back.
On the topic of cooperation,
Okay. That one was actually kind of funny.
as federal prosecutors, we do assess cooperation at the end of an investigation. Obviously, your willingness to sit for this interview today and tomorrow and answer our questions is part of that cooperation. It's obviously very important to answer our questions truthfully, and we appreciate very much your willingness. We hope that you will be able to, that you'll put forth your best efforts in really trying to get your best recollection in response to the questions we ask, because I acknowledge that some of the questions we are asking relate to events that happened years ago.
I'm a young man, so it's not a problem.
Okay, great. Glad
You know what? This one's pretty good.
But the only problem they were if I could pull it back, so and pure luck, I hit the goddamn target. No, I really did. Bail's ahead.
What are people? He hit the apple on Corn Pop's head. Oh. Oh man. Yeah, what is the story? What is the story from? Yeah. I was gonna ask the same thing. What was the question in an interview concerning handling of classified documents that occasioned this meandering digression about the vice president's trip to Mongolia? I know it does kind of seem like it does kind of seem. I mean, that story is not that crazy, but it does kind of seem like the interviewer was being a little soft on him, which is kind of unfortunate. For 4 years I watched the President of the United States completely deteriorate. Like, he deteriorated right in front of our eyes. And liberals and Democrats were like, no, it's fine. And they were like, we're going to vote for him. I don't know. I was pretty exhausting about talking about my disdain for Biden during his presidency, so I feel like I'm just a broken record at this point. The news about his prostate cancer came right after, his mental capacity was being questioned. Jake Tapper, who is like the biggest hypocrite of all time, who was one of the people denying that Biden had mental issues before the debate, is now, capitalizing on this book, where he can talk about, he was investigating it and found out that the president was actually always stupid and, old, that's what he's trying to do now. He's trying to play, the whole, historical revisionism on this one. But he does raise some actual, concerns, I guess. Why was he allowed to be the president if people knew about these issues? Why didn't he resign and, make Kamala Harris the president? Why his mental health issues very clearly cost them at least a chunk of their electorate. The other chunk was probably because of Gaza, but a huge chunk was from, his mental issues on the public stage. I don't know why I wrote this down. The president is essentially a figurehead for the entire federal government. So if they're physically decaying in front of everybody, people are going to be pretty weary of the government's ability to function properly. Thank you, Editorial Dane, for writing it better than I could have said it. But yeah. Go watch the full interview. The full interview is on YouTube. Full Biden-Hur special counsel interview on classified documents by Axios. Couple last things, and then I'm going to go. The UK puts sanctions on Israeli West Bank settlers and has suspended trade talks, free trade talks. Netanyahu then followed that up by saying that the UK supports Hamas. So, don't really know what to say about that one. The UK only did this because Keir Starmer said he was going to block aid. Or not block aid. He was going to cease all talks and put sanctions down if they were blocking aid into Gaza. That's what it is. And now, like, thousands and thousands of people are starving to death. So that's pretty big news, because I think Canada and France are talking about doing the exact same thing. That's in addition to Trump being pissed at the Israelis. And the Senate voted 100-0 to pass the No Taxes bill, or No Taxes on Tips Act. That's pretty cool. There was another bill that passed the House, 215 to 214. Because one representative fell asleep and the other one couldn't find his buzzer, apparently. And it's that big, beautiful bill, which apparently 4 Senate Republicans are talking about voting no on. 3 of them are McConnell, Howley, and who was the other one? Oh, Lindsey Graham. But we already know John Fetterman's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to vote yes on this bill. And then it's over. So, yeah, look out for that. Look up for that scary bill that they're trying to pass. It actually is a pretty horrifying bill. You should read into it. All right. Remember to check out our merch. Links in the description. Get this nice, soft shirt. It actually is very soft. I'm a bit surprised. I do like this. I got it in pink. It's a bit wrinkly because I haven't really washed it properly yet. But yeah, it's pink. It's soft. We have other colors. Go check it out. Check us out on patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. Get the bonus content. And listen to this podcast on any podcasting platform if you want audio only, including your Samsung smart fridge. I actually did find out you might be able to listen to this on a fridge. So we're getting closer and closer to me getting this podcast to play on a fridge. So yeah, all right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.